Okay, so hi everyone, my name is Huan Huan Chen. I'm currently working for Jet.com as a senior software engineer. And so thank you for coming today. And I think he already asked how many of you already working for a PM, and I also talked some of you guys, and I know about you guys' background. And then, so I'm here today to share some my real-time job experience about how PM, the relationship between PM and software engineers from different type of company, such as big company Microsoft and then very young company Jet.com. So first, let's see. Okay. So I will focus on this: what engineers want from a PM, and how a PM to communicate with engineers. Then, so this is some my background. So I will give you guys about high level of my background. So I started my career back to 2013 at Accenture as a software engineer. And then after a year, I moved to Seattle working for Zulilly, and then Microsoft. Then after Microsoft, my parents wanted me to move back to New York, and so I moved back to New York and then joined Jet.com. And so from Microsoft to Jet, so it's a big difference because Microsoft is, you guys know, it's a very old company. They have very mature management system from PM or product. So for Jet.com, it was acquired by Walmart.com back to 2016, and so it's still very young, and we're still working hard on the management, PM, on everything together, try to make it better right now. Yeah, let's see. Oops. Okay. So I have been working for this industry almost over 5 years, and so I work with entry level PM or top PM, and so I will summarize about this my experience, and I hope you guys can get something that you are looking for today from this presentation. Okay, now let's move to here. Oh, this one. Oops. Okay, here. Okay. So what engineer want from a PM? So I summarize 4 aspects. One is consistent and responsive and convincing and filtering out problems for engineers. So first one, consistent. So when starting design a new product or workflows, when starting working on this part, we want a stable idea. Because once engineers start implementing on product, it's hard to change something if this workflow need to be dramatic change, and we engineers need a lot of effort to make it happen. So we want a PM to come up with an idea that is stable and it has been tested, and it's gonna be work, and it probably needs some minor change, which is totally fine. But we don't want like suddenly this idea has been changed and the workflow need to in this direction, that direction, and it's really, once we start implementing this product, it's harder to change. It will take a lot of money and a lot of time to get it fixed. So we want this consistency during whole development progress. But of course, try to achieve this consistency, we need a lot of discussion from business team and engineer team So we need to make it happen. And so this is consistent with most engineers looking for a PM. Okay, next one. Okay. Also timing, responsive. So timing. And PM is very busy, and then they need to go to a lot of meetings, and then sometimes they hard for them to respond the message immediately. So one day my colleagues came to me. He asked, "How do I feel about a PM?" Because this PM never respond his message, and he complains a lot. So now because I work with this PM, and I have a good time. Good experience with him, even though he doesn't respond the message immediately. But once I come to talk to him, he is very patient and nice, and assures, okay, so this is just his time. He's too busy to respond your message. I mean, I'm a good person. I don't badmouth people, so I share my feeling, and I ease him, and I suggest him go to talk to this PM. If there's a question, you just ask him in person. So and then, yeah. So my suggestion is always respond your message as soon as possible, and follow on the problems. And also active. So what's active? Because so when I was in Microsoft, we use a lot of email to communicate for the problems, such as a problem feedback from customers. They will send email to our team, and also a bug or report from different engineer or different team. So we want a PM can understand this problem, and then they can identify the problem, and also do some action to resolve the problem. And so when right now I'm in Jet.com, we use a lot of Slack channel. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with this tool, Slack channel, and there's a lot of channel related to product. So we have a different business team are using these tools. Sometimes they will post questions, and so because engineers are very busy, and then we only familiar with a specific part, but PM, they knows all the stuff. So we hope that PM can answer the question and give more clear direction to have a business team to understand the problem. And I think this is very beneficial. And if you guys can do this, you will get a lot of respect from engineers. Yes. Okay. And also convincing for PM, he actually is a decision maker. So decision maker, because from the scratch, when they design a product from scratch, and there's a lot of decision a PM need to make, how the workflow work, and which team need to take care of this part, which team need to do in this way. So there's a lot of decision maker, and then as a team, you need to be know how to convince people to do it in your way. You need to organize it, and then yeah, just make a product, make the whole product happen in a smooth way. And so this is a convincing. So we want something that this PM has a power in convincing people to do things they like. And also this is very important, but it's the group. PM is a very important group between business team and the engineer team. Because normally we, as engineers, we don't attend a lot of meeting. Get idea if there's a new feature request, new product. Business people come out with some fancy product. So we don't go to the meeting because we need to stay in the back end to support our current product, or we need to add a feature with some new feature or product. So then we want PM can pass the knowledge or pass the request from the business team. And then when we get a message, we need to identify which idea is not a good idea. And then we give feedback to a PM, and PM will pass our feedback to the business team. And so now this PM will conclude ideas. Okay, which is best for this new idea or new product. So and this is require a lot of skill level to talk to people and convincing people, and to resolve a lot of conflict between different teams. So this is also, I think, a PM need to be have to know how to convince people. And figuring out problems. So this one is so when I was in Microsoft, and I work for the Visual Studio. It's a very big team, and it's a very big team. And so sometimes when a problem or we get bug from a customer or a person, so and we need to, and sometimes in this bug it just sent to my team, and then but actually this is not my team's responsibility. And if an engineer spend their time to identify this problem, it will cost a lot of efforts. So and we sometimes prefer a PM can handle this, and then send identify the problem, and then send the problem or bug to the team who need to take care of this issue. So you're gonna save a lot of time for engineer team. And also for the protecting engineers from involving unnecessary discussion. So this one is more like a cooperation between two multiple teams. So I think I can give you guys an example about it happened to a couple months ago. So my team is working with another team, and usually when two teams working together, we will make a contract. So like this is a contract we agreed before. Because once we agree a contract, and we need to stick within the contract. If any team, if one of the team make a change, and it will affect the other team's project. So we will be really careful about the contract. So this team constantly violating the contract, and then now when the project is about to due, and they still cannot finish it, and the director just came to my team, and then he blamed everybody in my team and said, okay, you guys provide communication. I think it's not necessary because we just engineer, we follow the contract, and if there's anything you are unhappy, you just talk to the PM. PM need to stand out to talk to this director and show the contract. Instead, we just sitting there and listen. He's complaining about all this stuff. So I think a good PM need to take care of this part, protect engineers to get into unnecessary trouble. So okay. Okay, so now is how a PM need to communicate with engineers. So there's a PM it organize all the sprint planning ticket and sometimes bug, and you probably need a lot of help from engineers, and so then some PM some bug probably looks very easy to fix, and some PM say it probably only take a few minutes to get it fixed. But you see, a lot of PM doesn't have a coding background, and even it looks easy, but from the back end, it requires a lot of work to get it done. I mean, if this engineer just is a new guys just join the company, it's harder for him or her to say, oh, okay, this is not easy. So usually I would say, if it's easy, how about you get your fix in a few minutes? But it's not a nice way to say it this way. And so I think a smart PM need to say how many time, how much time how many days do you think you can get it fixed, and then creating the ticket to track the problems, and then if you think this is higher priority, so you need to inform the manager, say, okay, we need to get this bug fixed as soon as possible, and then so this problem is can easily resolve in this way. And then organize is about the meeting, and then sometimes a lot of engineers need to have a PM to organize the meeting to show demo to the customer or the business team. And I think this should be PM's responsibility. So they need to organize on a demo in the very first stage, and also need to know how to test the product. Because some PM they good at creating ticket and then bring the ticket signed to different engineers, but they actually don't know the product. They don't know how to test the product. So this is not very professional, because as a PM you also need to know from the scratch of the product how to test it, how to design it, and then find out something we overlook during the design process. And so I think a good PM need to know how to organize the whole process of the product. And also then second one is the transparent. So this I think I can talk about one example. So 1 month ago, I did a project. There's a lot of 7 people working on this project, and then but in the end, because of the lack of communication between business team and then PM, and we spent 2 months on this project. And then we released it to production side, and then they said need to cancel this product, need to revert to older features, and so I didn't get info. So they didn't inform me about this, and I feel a little upset. Why you didn't inform me about this? Because I can help to resolve the problem. So we have spent 7 people spend a month or a couple months on this project. We want everybody can use this product. If there's any conflict, any something that, of course, I definitely can contribute my idea to resolve the problem. And so transparency is good, because you can get more idea and to resolve the problem. And so we don't waste people's time when they spend a lot of time to get things done. And but this product is not going to be used, and I feel sad about this. And it's also not good for the business. Okay, okay. So okay, yeah. Okay.
So one of my questions is, you mentioned that you do testing as a product manager. So to what level of testing do you do? Is it like end-to-end functionality? How do you touch code? What's the level of testing that you do?
So it depends what you need. So I think end-to-end is most likely, because some PM know how to test API. So I give you API, you know how to test it. But some PM they only know how to test end-to-end, use the front end. So I click on this button, and what is going to happen to the back end. So it really depends what you want. Some PM is eager to learn from scratch. Okay, they want to understand each step from front end to back end to front end. So they want to know. So I think I personally I like a PM eager to learn from the scratch, and everything they want to keep in follow up. So this is I think this is the top PM when I was in Microsoft. That he knows that, because most PM they actually was software engineers, so they know the stuff, they know how to test it. So it really depends. But some PM they only come from financial background, or they come from non-computing background. So it's maybe take some time for them to get into the track. Yeah.
Thank you.
The follow-on that question. Do software engineers actually have the time to teach PM? Because if you have a lot of stuff on the roadmap, would it be inconsiderate if a PM said could you spend half an hour or an hour on educating me?
So if for testing part, it's not hard to teach. I can just give you a few example and go through it, and it's really not hard to learn. And if you still cannot understand, you still can come to me, because the engineer actually like talking to a PM, because the PM can say some good thing about engineer to the manager. So yes, yeah, okay.
I actually have 2 questions. My first question is about getting engineers involved in meetings and discussions. So can you give me some idea of when is a good time to get an engineer involved, and when is not a good time?
Yeah, so when at the beginning of product design, and then also in the middle, and on the end of the demo. So, and for each meeting, you can always include the engineer as non-required. So it will depends on engineer to if it's their decision if they won't come. And also if you think this is important information that happened to the meeting, this engineer didn't attend, you can pass the information to this engineer, or you can document them to bring the documents. Yes.
One of the follow-up questions to that, doesn't it often happen where like information gets lost because you have to translate for the engineers and like risk for that?
Yeah, it always happens. It has always happened. Then some people try to blame, okay, it's your fault. And then this happens. And so this happens, when this happens, we usually have a small demo. So like each spring, we're going to demo something. And then we know engineer is making progress on this product. Even if engineer did it in a long way, we can immediately point it out, okay, this demo is not quite right. And we're going to fix this one. So usually, each spring, we have an end of a spring demo to show what we have achieved during the spring, and you also can discover the problem immediately.
Okay.
Yeah, yes.
Okay. And my last question, what are the skills specifically for Jet.com? What is Jet.com specifically looking for a PM specifically?
For
can you answer that question? Because I get a sense that project management in Jet.com is different than other places.
So for Jet.com, they actually have a different entry level PM, and some PM they don't have any computing background. They purely come from financial, and some and I don't know, some writer background. Yeah. But I think because when they graduate, they come from a good college degree, probably Ivy League college degree, and then a good GPA, and they just hire them. But the good thing is they are willing to study, and this is a good part. And engineers are also, because when you're working as a team, you will help people succeed. When these people this person succeed, it's a PM or engineer, you also can help yourself, because we as a team, we interact with each other, because you don't want to bring trouble to this person. If this person have hard time to understand this part, mostly we're willing to spend more time to make it, let her or him to understand. Yes.
Can you talk about? I know that engineers probably report up to within the engineering team, right? PMs have their own reporting structure. However, you have to work together. So can you talk about the metrics for PMs, for engineers, and how is there evaluation that goes both ways, where PMs have to evaluate engineers, and the other way around, to understand kind of what are the incentives within this entire kind of?
Yeah, so it really depends on company. So like for Jet.com, engineer has engineers and their own manager, and the PM has their own management. And for when I was in Microsoft, and the PM and engineer both reporting to engineer manager. It really depends. Because Jet is a young company, even though it acquired by Walmart 2016, by still very young, and they still working hard on the management. And then, for Microsoft, they are very mature. So when they do the performance review, they actually is multiple directions. So manager looking for feedback from engineers, and the engineer looking for feedback from manager, also peer feedback, and also from PM. So it's multiple direction in this Microsoft mature company. For Jet, right now it's temperature just one direction up. So I can report to up. Yeah, like this.
I would imagine that, for example, if the reporting structure is separate, then, for example, if the engineer is not as being collaborative, then PM might not have direct influence, right? Or the other way around. If PM is not being collaborative or responsive, then engineer doesn't have direct influence over the PM. So how do you resolve these potential conflicts?
For this conflict, usually we just talk to manager. PM also can talk to this manager, and if there's any conflict and lack of cooperation, and we just talk. And yeah, some people get fired if they don't do the job. Yeah, this is happens. Yeah. Oh, okay.
One thing I've been struggling with recently is very enthusiastic engineers wanting to go very outside of scope, and the balance between making sure they feel heard and telling them we don't have the time or the resources to build this to that extent. I'm wondering what strategies you have in kind of saying no, but in a way that is good.
Oh, okay. So you say if an engineer want to do more out of scope a product, normally we don't have time to do out of scope product. Yeah, but we do have open source. Sometimes if there's a lot of geek in some company, so they spend a lot of time on outside project, open source, and then release under company's name. So it happens. Sometimes they also use their own library, and then they create they implement new library, and then something they interest, and they're gonna use this library to our current source code, and then they're gonna release this library or open source to public under company's name. So it really depends. If you have time, you always can do go to beyond extra mile to do some fancy stuff. Yeah, it's beneficial, I think.
Yeah, I guess the question is though, like, what strategies have you found in being effective to tell them no, but while they still feel hurt?
Oh, feel hurt.
Yeah.
Oh. I don't want people to get hurt. Normally, I don't do this.
Feel like they were listened to.
Listen to?
Yeah, I want the developer to feel like their idea was heard. But we can't do it.
Oh, this actually happens a lot.
Yeah.
So, and for engineers, in this case, yeah. So I think there's a good example. So like last time, there's a guy. He is very smart, and he also do a lot of actual work and fancy idea, and but never got used. And there's a lot of a fight between team and management. So he didn't got hurt. He got hurt. His idea is heard, but by him. He also feel hurt about that his great idea never got being used by manager, and he left company after this. Yeah, so yeah, I didn't. So I'm very busy, so I didn't do some fancy stuff at this moment. Probably in future. So I don't have this problem at this moment. It's harder for me to answer, but I can give you an example. Yes. Probably okay.
So maybe a little bit of a different situation against the other people in the room, but I'm an early stage founder, and I'm looking to hire a first developer or engineer to work with. Are there any questions I should be asking this person, or any questions I should know how to answer when I'm talking to this engineer or developer that I'm working with?
I think for engineers is very important is if this engineer is a team player. You probably ask what happens if you find out another engineer mess up your code, and you can ask what this engineer reaction. So I think a good engineer need to when they find that some people mess up this engineer's code, you probably try to forgive and try to have a resolve from the problem. So I think I value engineers need to be open-minded and then to forgiving other people's mistake, and being a team player. I think it's very important. I mean, of course, smart is also very important, but besides smart, this is also very important part. I feel it's very valuable to a company, because you don't want people. So when I is in Jeddah, it's a very young company. I can see there's a lot of unnecessary fights, and it's just a small problem, but people make it a bigger deal. Yeah. So yeah. Okay.
So usually, developer manager or senior developer will be involved in the PM interview process. That's what I had. So I wonder what's your perspective when, if you are in this interview team, interviewing a PM, what would be your qualification for a PM in terms of technical skill? Because I personally don't have a technical background, and that's why I'm on this part. So I wonder what's your perspective.
You'll start your league with a good GPA, right?
Not everybody have a good GPA. Yeah. So, I mean, if I have an opportunity to interview a PM, I think first I will talk to this person if this person is easygoing. And also, I mean, if there's a multiple choice, I mean, there's a multiple candidate, I probably choose a computer background over non-computer background. So, because in this way, it's easy to communicate. Because engineers understand how hard to get things done, and we want more support. Sometimes due date is too demanding. So we want like a PM can ask more time for a new project for extend the due date. So based on this, I will choose a computer background over a non-computer background PM.
Essentially, the fear is that non-tech background PM doesn't understand the effort.
I mean, if all the background is the same, like smart and easygoing and creative and convincing, and I will choose a computer background over non-computer background. Yes. Okay.
So following question, what kind of computer skills would you like PM to have? For example, Huan Huan Chen.
So a lot of PM, they actually have a bachelor degree in computer science, and they also have a few year coding experience. And so like there's one a girl, she just started her PM career. So she actually doesn't have any background, but right now she starts to learn because she is a front end PM. So right now she start to learn JavaScript. So I think it's good for her. Yeah, and she's very smart. It really depends what your the team you're gonna work for, which area they focus. Backend